The city, this site for the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Championship quarterfinal action. The 7-seed Baylor a win over Kansas State last night against the 2-seed Grant McCasland. And the Texas Tech Red Raiders, a former Baylor guard, I might add, going up against a man he used to work for in Scott Drew here tonight in KC.
It is Mark. Let the celebration begin. Oh my goodness!
He got it for the win!
Unbelievable!
Best basketball that we have ever seen.
Welcome to the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship as you're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. The T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Baylor and Texas Tech tonight. Earlier today in quarterfinal action, BYU got the day started as Richie Saunders and the Cougars making 18 threes en route to a 96-92 win over Iowa State. And then the regular season champs, the Houston Cougars, behind 19 from Emmanuel Sharp, took care of the Cinderella story of the Big 12 tournament in Colorado. As they look at the bracket for the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Championship, still to come later tonight. The 3-seed Arizona Wildcats and the Kansas Jayhawks will wrap up day 3 in the quarterfinals here in KC. Along with Sean Farnham and Chris Budden, Roxy Bernstein with you in a great environment. What a week it's been so far.
Hey, listen, it's been all chalk on the other side. Will we see chalk tonight? Or can Baylor pull off the upset against a team that is the only squad to knock off Houston all year long in Texas Tech?
Well, JT Toppett, the Big 12 Player of the Year, leading Texas Tech to the 2-seed in this tournament.
He's been great, and what he does so well is he's just so simple in his approach. Whether it's in that short roll or that pick and pop, he keeps his game very compact, and he's been sensational. 3 games of over 30 points and 10 rebounds this season.
As we send it over more on Texas Tech from Chris Budden.
Darian Williams has been dealing with a lingering ankle injury. He is going to start today, but Grant McCasland told me he's not sure how long he will be able to go. It was a year ago here in Kansas City that Williams injured his ankle. Thinks he's thinking about how do I help my team while here at the Big 12 tournament, but also knowing the NCAA tournament is ahead and he wants to be able to be healthy for that.
Yeah, Chris, they don't have to worry about getting in on Selection Sunday. They know they'll be in, but they'd love the championship here in Kansas City. On the other side, the route to a championship, if it's going to be Baylor for the first time in school history, the freshman of the year in the Big 12, VJ Edgecombe, needs to lead the way.
Well, and he's playing his best basketball of the season down the stretch of the regular season. He had a 23-point game against Houston. He came out last night, had a double-double in his first ever Big 12 tournament game. He's as good as any athlete in the country. He can finish above the rim in transition. In the open floor, he's so explosive, but also defensively, tracking down, getting block shots, rebounding the basketball. He needs to have another complete game tonight for the Baylor Bears.
Baylor got the bye into, rather Texas Tech got the bye into the quarterfinals. Baylor last night knocked off Kansas State 70-56. As Sean told you, a terrific game for VJ Edgecombe. They dominated in the paint, and their defense never let Kansas State get into a rhythm. But they're coming in tonight a little bit shorthanded. They've been banged up most of the season. And Langston Love, who played last night, not available for Scott Drew tonight.
Yeah, banged up all season long, to be honest with you, though. I mean, Scott Drew constructed this roster pretty much primarily focused on the number of 8 guys that he felt really confident could deliver on a night-in, night-out basis. Well, now you've got a couple of injuries. Now that continues to dwindle. We'll see if that lack of production off the bench hurts this team tonight, because that production last night with Jaden Nunn coming off the bench, Jeremy Roach playing good minutes, was a big part of that win against Kansas State.
2-seed Red Raiders in the white, the designated home team, as JT Toppin in the lane, gets his own miss. Kerwin Walton, 3 for Texas Tech.
Offensive rebound, everybody collapsed around JT Toppin in the middle of paint, quick kick, and Darian Williams did an excellent job of just that extra pass to find Walton.
Baylor, the 7-seed, comes in looking for their 20th win of the season. Norchad Omier goes to work down low.
Man, he is so strong. His upper body and his ability to attack. They feel like Texas Tech is going to play Norchad Omier straight up one-on-one. And so that's a matchup that they want to try to establish very early on for the Baylor Bears.
Rolling to the basket, JT Toppin the flush. These two teams played just once this season in Lubbock, back on February 4th, just over a month ago. And Chance McMillan led the way for Texas Tech with 19, hitting 5 threes as Norchad Omier doing work inside for Baylor.
Do you see how they're spacing the floor out and just isolating Norchad Omier down low underneath the hoop?
JT Toppin stepping out for 3.
Like I said in the open, they will look for him on the short roll. They will look on the pick and pop. The simplicity of how JT Toppin plays. He does not have any wasted movement when he's out on the floor. The opportunity to be a champion comes few and far between during the course of the season. Non-conference tournament maybe, conference play, and then you have the conference tournament, and then if you're lucky, you get a chance in the NCAAs.
And a strong move to beat the shot clock. Again, Norchad Omier for Baylor.
Every time down the floor, they've gotten the ball to Norchad Omier. And every time he's gotten close to the basket, it has worked.
JT Toppin at this end of the floor getting touches and the reverse lay-in. He has 7 of Texas Tech's 10. And the other side, Omier is all 6 for Baylor. And the reverse miss by Robert Wright III inside. Here come the Red Raiders. Erwin Walton, corner 3 and a chance for 4.
Rule number 1 in college basketball, it happens every game. But do not foul a jump shooter from beyond the arc. And this is compounded by the fact that it's VJ Edgecombe. When a shooter goes up, you cannot go into their body. And when you get in their landing zone, the officials are going to call that every single time.
In a lot of ways, it's turned into an epidemic this season in college basketball.
I don't understand it. I mean, it's something that's drilled every single day in practice. Like, no coach is like, hey, when someone takes a jump shot, go right after him.
Norchad Omier gathers and scores underneath. He is all 8 for Baylor. Texas Tech, after missing their first shot, has made 5 in a row, 6 in a row. Third 3 already for Kerwin Walton.
This Texas Tech team, when it's at full strength and playing with the level of confidence that it has tonight, they could win a national championship. They can be a Final Four team in San Antonio, Texas. Great defensive efficiency, offensive efficiency matches it. They win on the road. They know how to do it. You got to figure out how to stop Norchad Omier, though, because he's been the guy that's been getting after it.
Jalen Celestine missing everything on the 3. And last touch by Baylor. It belongs to Texas Tech. And an 8-point lead early for the Red Raiders, and a deficit for Scott Drew to deal with against one of his former assistants, who he's got a losing record against, albeit in just 3 games.
And back-to-back nights he's gone against one of his assistants.
There's Grant McCasland at the other end. In his 2nd season at Texas Tech, has had a good run. A former Baylor guard and an assistant for 5 years alongside Scott Drew in Waco. Elijah Hawkins stumbling.
JT Toppin out of the game.
But attacking the basket, Federico.
The mindset doesn't change. They love to work that side on-ball screen with that strong roll of the basket. A little bit stronger with Federico because he cannot pick and pop. Defensively, you have to have awareness.
Norchad Omier had it dislodged. That's why there wasn't a travel. Jaden Nunn draws a foul. Will get to the line. It's on Elijah Hawkins of Texas Tech. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. And the invitation to Lexus sales event now through March 31st. Terrific start for Texas Tech. They're up 10 Almost 4.5 minutes into the game, but the connection between these two coaches, Sean, they go back to when Grant McCasland was 26 years of age coaching in the junior college ranks. He played at Baylor and then joined Scott Drew's staff back in 2011. And for more on the relationship, send it over to Chris.
Yeah, that connection started in 2003 when Grant was coaching at Northeastern Junior College. He had a big man that had a lot of interest from the likes of Kentucky and Purdue. Scott Drew had just gotten the job, realized that McCasland played at Baylor, called him up. McCasland said, I'm trying not to exaggerate, 30 times within a 24-hour span. Scott Drew was like, I'm interested in this guy. He ended up going to play for Matt Painter at Purdue, but McCasland said, you just listen to him on the phone. What would be normally pretty annoying to get that many phone calls over a 24-hour was actually very endearing.
It was. And then he said, you know, one of the things that, you know, people sometimes don't give Scott Drew enough credit for. He goes, Scott Drew is literally the guy that when you show up to practice, you need some water, you need me to go get you something. And he is. I mean, you go to his office here, you want a t-shirt, you need a book. I mean, he's always been authentic and real, and it's one of the reasons why he's related so well to his players over the years and why he was able to take this Baylor program from the depths of where it was when he took over all the way to the top of the mountaintop and getting named a national champion in 2021.
Now in his 22nd season in Waco coaching Baylor, Christian Anderson, the freshman from deep, and Texas Tech has made 8 consecutive shots.
He's a dude. Like Christian Anderson comes off the bench, and he is a game changer. When the ball hits his hands, he is a threat to score wherever he is on the floor. Look out.
Norchad Omier off the lob.
And they vacated miscommunication defensively that time in defending that curl cut off that baseline screen, and 2 went to the ball, and the next thing you know, Norchad Omier had nothing but space to operate.
21-12, Texas Tech with the lead. They've assisted on 7 of their 8 buckets. Rattles out for Christian Anderson, and the rebound, Norchad Omier for Baylor.
2 of the best freshmen in the country guarding each other right now, Christian Anderson and VJ Edgecombe. I mean, just these 2 guys are both going to be pros.
A step back from Jaden Nunn. And the rebound, there is Chance McMillan for Texas Tech. VJ Edgecombe just picked up his 2nd foul.
Careless foul by VJ Edgecombe, but let's go back. Christian Anderson checks in the game. First time he touches it. Feeder set. The defense once again over helping, collapsing into the paint, and then watch the miscommunication on the curl to go with the ball. That means that Norchad Omier, who's absolutely been eating up Texas Tech early in this game, he has 10 of the 12 points. That was the cleanest and easiest look that he's had so far.
That foul in Edgecombe a major problem, not just because of the player that he is, but keep in mind, no Langston Love available, so the depth takes a hit for Scott Drew in this game. JT Toppin in the lane. On the deck, Jalen Celestine rips it away for Baylor.
Really good, strong defense by Celestine there, taking the contact and then ripping that rebound away from JT Toppin. See if they can start to change up how they're defending Norchad Omier. Better job pushing him off the block, not allowing him to catch it in the paint.
And the strength of Omier, but then he's denied, got it back. And after the block shot by JT Toppin, Omier puts it in.
Roxy, 12 of the 14 points for the team now have come from Norchad Omier. I mean, turn his water off. Nobody else can score.
Chance McMillan. 3 spins out. JT Toppin at the other end. He'll go to the line.
So a pretty good job defensively by JT Toppin to force Norchad Omier to catch the ball off the block. But then he just overpowers him. A good block. But the one thing that, if you haven't watched Norchad Omier play, is his motor. Like, it does not stop ever. He is elite with how hard he goes after rebounds, and he never gives up on a play. That's how you get over 2,500 career points and over 1,600 career rebounds.
Last night, picked up his 88th career double-double, the 2nd most in the history of college basketball. JT Toppin, 72% from the line, third in the Big 12 in scoring and rebounding, and the Big 12 Player of the Year.
Playing his best basketball when his best basketball has been needed down the stretch of the regular season. Last 2 games averaging 27.5 points per contest. Both of them double-doubles, and he's just been outstanding, continuing to feel comfortable and confident. The transfer in his first year in Lubbock has played well enough, in my opinion, to be on the Wooden Award list.
Last year at New Mexico was the Mountain West Conference Co-Rookie of the Year. Leaving Albuquerque to go to Lubbock. Freshman for Baylor in the key, Robert Wright III, who this season set the Baylor freshman single-season assist record.
Well, Texas Tech better figure out how to protect their paint a little bit better. 14 of the 16 points have come in the paint. Now, granted, a lot of that is Norchad O'Meara. The only 2 were at the free throw line on a drive. So everything has come at the cup right now for the Baylor Bears.
Tough runner, and Robert Wright is able to get it to go.
Downhill attack. Really good job. We talked so much about VJ Edgecombe, but Robert Wright, a very talented freshman.
16 of their 18 have come in the paint for Baylor. And the Bears last night had 42 points in the paint against Kansas State. From the outside, Elijah Hawkins, first points of the night. 6 threes for Texas Tech.
Hawkins, usually a facilitator, but has grown in confidence in that three-point shot as the season's gone on. He's been a great player in addition from Minnesota, understanding his role and what Grant McCaslin needs of him.
Jeremy Roach trying to weave his way in. Pulled down by Elijah Hawkins.
Good mismatch to attack here. Look at Toppin being guarded underneath. And that's a foul. Yeah, I mean, there's like almost like no glory there, right? Like you got JT Toppin, who's the conference player of the year. He's trying to stop Norchad O'Meara at one end of the floor. This has been an individual matchup within the matchup. 2 of the very best in the Big 12. A trip to the semifinals on the line.
Great job. We won that media by 3. All right? Go foul. All right. Defensive field goal, we got him to 33. So that's a positive. All right? Rebounding. Order 1 second chance. That's great. Now, are you ever going to get a foul called in the 12 fading away? No. So when he jump stops, what should we get? 2 cuts and you're a point guard. Find somebody.
Really good stuff there by Coach Drew. And what he's talking about is 2 touch the paint. So jump stop, kick, drive it again, get that second touch of the paint, because once you get that second touch in the paint, you know that you're going to get something really good at the offensive end of the floor.
They're doing their work inside. Texas Tech 6 of 8 from 3 is Darian Williams the miss, but got his own miss. And the putback off the heel of the rim, but another offensive rebound.
Coach Drew was just saying they were rebounding the ball well, not on this possession.
Darian Williams, 3!
He deserved it. You get 2 offensive rebounds. You deserve that shot attempt. Really good job relocating after the kick out.
He was clearly too close to the basket. 7 of 9 from 3 for Texas Tech.
This Texas Tech team can really shoot the ball. As a team, 38% from beyond the arc. They average over 10 made threes per game. They're trying to compete with what BYU did in this building earlier today, knocking down 18 for Kevin Young.
5 on the shot clock. Norchad O'Meara, and a foul as Jason Asamoah, the freshman, recipient of the pass, and the foul on Texas Tech.
Williams motor, we talk about Norchad O'Meara. Watch him on this play. Just the ability to get the second offensive rebound, drive into a gap, relocate, get your feet set underneath you, force that long run out. Norchad O'Meara got caught too deep in the paint, and a very good player who has hit big shots. Go back to their win at Kansas, and it was Williams late in that game. When nobody else really seemingly wanted to take the shot, he did, and he drilled it in Allen Fieldhouse to put that one away.
VJ Edgecombe back in with his 2 fouls. 10:24 left in the half. And Jason Asamoah, who's played sparingly for Baylor this season, pressed into more duty tonight in the absence of Langston Love. He'd shot 6 free throws all season, was 2 for 6. but he made both there.
I would attack. They're playing the zone now to kind of try to shield VJ Edgecombe and not put him on the ball as much so he can't get attacked and pick up a third foul.
Big side rebound, JT Toppin and the kick out.
Great ball movement.
Wide open and missing everything. Chance McMillan, but kept alive by Texas Tech.
That's the conference player of the year, diving out of bounds to secure this extra possession.
Darian Williams makes him pay.
Little things that help you become an elite basketball team. Competitive spirit and greatness. Grant McCasland said when they won that game at Houston, when he got ejected, JT Toppin was ejected in that contest. The competitiveness of this team kind of started to show out and show out. And you've seen it now in the last couple of possessions.
VJ Edgecombe, his first points of the night. Back the other way, Christian Anderson nails a three. 9 threes for Texas Tech.
We still have over 9 minutes left to go here in the first half, and they've already got 9 threes.
We thought BYU shot the lights out earlier today.
This is fantastic. End to end for both of these two teams. Trading 2s for 3s, though, means that you're playing catch-up.
VJ Edgecombe down the lane, gliding in. Norchadomir on the offensive glass. The kick out, and a three rattles in. Jason Asamoah.
You mentioned rarely used, but was ready and had his feet set underneath, and Norchadomir carves out so much space to get the offensive board.
10-3 for the Red Raiders.
Try zone, try man, do everything you can, but they cannot slow down Texas Tech right now.
Did you try to rhyme that? Try zone, try man? No?
I'm not that talented.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to clarify that. VJ Edgecombe on a step through and he's fouled.
But just back and forth, the shooting has been elite in this game, and great effort by JT Toppin to secure it. And then Williams goes into the corner. Nobody's there to contest. The quality of these shots, late closeouts, everybody's a step slow, a little bit late. Your hand is down. You only lift your arm when it's already out of his hand. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. And as Chris Budden said at the start of the game, they didn't know how many minutes Williams would play because he got injured here a year ago. Hasn't been exactly right. The focus is on the NCAA tournament. When you're 3 for 3 from 3, you got a couple offensive rebounds. All of a sudden, you're looking at coach. I'm good. I can stay out here, coach. We're good.
It's like Kay McClure said last night. When you're getting buckets, you start feeling better.
It's like when I'm working with you, I feel better sitting down here next to you. It's just, you bring out the best in me, Roxy.
I appreciate that, Sean.
This has been a lot of fun, and VJ Edgecombe has started to bring out the best of him. The last couple of possessions, much more assertive in trying to drive downhill. He gets to the free throw line, knocks down both there.
I get you're down 10. There's still 8-10 left in the half. Edgecombe has 2 fouls. How do you manage the rest of the half, protecting him so he doesn't get the third?
Well, the zone has been a big part of it, and where he's got to be careful is when he gets caught underneath. There he is getting the steal.
First turnover by Texas Tech, and it spins out for Jaden Nunn.
The last thing you want to do is get VJ Edgecombe in a situation where they can isolate and attack. Grant McCasland is really good at trying to play advantage disadvantage. If he has a disadvantage, he's going to look for the advantage spot that he has out on the floor. I'd throw to Federico right now. He's got VJ Edgecombe on him, just duck in, but Federico's standing behind him, allowing him to push him out of the way.
Darian Williams, 4 threes. That's the 11th 3 for Texas Tech.
11 of their 14 makes have been from beyond the arc. That is an absurd number.
Baylor shooting 56% from the floor, yet they're down 13. Robert Wright, the scoop, and the rebound tipped out, ripped down by VJ Edgecombe, and a foul on Kerwin Walton of the Red Raiders.
The Red Raiders averaged 10 made threes per game. They felt like they missed out not playing last night, so they wanted to make up for it by hitting 11 when we have 7 minutes left to go here in the first half. They are on fire.
Well, everybody's got to go scrap and down. Don't leave. Go get the ball. Hit him and then go grab it. Because you were standing over here. He was driving, you were standing. You should be in there, flying in there and grabbing it. Fly in there and grab it. Fly in there and grab it. Every possession.
Texas Tech coach Grant McCasland during the timeout as we get it over to Chris.
And listening to Baylor's timeout, one of the things that Scott Drew's really good at is getting feedback from his players. He said, we've given up 11 threes. What do you guys want to do defensively? He looks at VJ, looks at North Chadomir. They decide what they want to run. And then VJ looks at the rest of the guys and says, they've made more threes than they've missed shots. We have to contest. We have to get rebounds.
It's tough to get rebounds when they're making everything. I mean, you know, it's 73% of their shots from beyond the arc they've hit already. Rebounding would help, though.
11 of 15 from 3. And Baylor from long range, his second 3 for the Baylor Bears as Jeremy Roach gets his first points of the night.
It's amazing, Roxy, that 11 made threes and Baylor's only down 10. I mean, saying they're down 10 doesn't feel good when you got 7 minutes left to go in the first half, but the fact they're shooting the ball so well from beyond the arc and you're in that kind of position, it's not the worst thing in the world. And you look at a lot of these looks, you're seeing defensive players late in their rotations. Their hands are down. They're watching. Part of the reason why you have so many makes is the ball movement's been elite. 11 assists. Hawkins has 8 of them. He's a pass-first point guard, and he has found his guys in a position where they simply can catch and make a shot.
Elijah Hawkins, the leading assist man in the Big 12. Chance McMillan, who's made the most threes this season for Texas Tech, has not made one tonight. All the way to the bucket,
jump ball.
And the arrow stays at this end with Baylor.
That is outstanding transition defense because it was a poor drive by McMillan as he forced it and drove into traffic. Looked like it should be at least a layup for Jeremy Roach, maybe a foul and get to the free throw line, and instead Walton got in there and just tied him up.
10-point lead for the Red Raiders. They've led by as many as 13.
There's only been 2 turnovers in this entire game.
Both by Texas Tech.
Very clean with how it's been played so far.
Jalen Celestine. And the offensive rebound, Baylor trying to control it. They can't, out of bounds to the Red Raiders with just inside 6 minutes to go in the half. And you watch Texas Tech play, Sean. Aside from the outstanding shooting tonight, what makes Texas Tech, in your eyes, a real threat to go to the Final Four?
Grant McCasland is really good at defining what the roles are and communicating that to his team.
JT Toppin doing what he does.
JT Toppin's the guy that's got to score the ball, and they're going to look to find him in a lot of role situations. Play with his back to the basket. Hawkins, you're a distributor. But what he does by defining his roles is he allows those guys to understand how they can star in their own role and be a star on this team, and collectively together with their competitiveness, they've become one of the elite teams this season in college basketball and a legitimate national championship contender.
And this is a battle-tested team on the road. They won 8-2 this year in true road games, including winning at Houston, at BYU, and at Kansas. A 3 short from Kevin Overton. Crossover. How about that move? It doesn't go for Jeremy Roach, but a quick move by the grad transfer from Duke.
All the 3-point shots. We really haven't talked too much about JT Toppin since the opening minutes of this game. You kind of show that you're going to dig and help, but what you don't notice on that play, it's great, is that Toppin slowly started working his way away from the hoop. The defensive player didn't know where he was taking him, and all that did was vacate that, so when he spun back to his left shoulder, he was able to finish with nobody there.
One more for Jeremy Roach. Baylor now 7 for 7 from the line. As Roach has been coming off the bench recently for Scott Drew after starting early in the year. A 4-year starter at Duke, a 2-time captain for the Blue Devils. And Baylor trims it back down to 10.
I'm surprised he didn't shoot that right away. That was a late closeout.
3. 12th first half three. And this one from Elijah Hawkins.
They're quickly becoming the Oprah Winfrey of three-point shots here in the Big 12 tournament. You get a 3, and you get a 3.
B.J. Edgecombe missing 2 right at the rim, and it's ripped down by Darian Williams.
This has been a very surgical-like performance so far by Texas Tech.
On the step through by Toppin, and Jalen Celestine pulls it down for Baylor.
Good job forcing him to his right hand, not allowing him to turn back to that left.
Jeremy Roach had some space, missing the 3, and Darian Williams pulls it down, and Texas Tech on the move. Inside 3.5 to go first half, and the Red Raiders have equaled their largest lead of the night. 12 of 18 from 3.
You've got none on top, and again.
And there's a foul out top on Jeremy Roach of Baylor. The Texas Tech with the lead late in the first half of this quarterfinal matchup. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball. It's brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement benefits plan that works for your team. Really interesting coaching dynamic from Scott Drew.
How about brilliance? This is why he's going to be a Hall of Fame head coach. Doesn't want to waste the timeout, but wants to get subs in, knows his guys are tired, get to the under 4, he's yelling foul, foul, foul. Go ahead, take the foul for Jeremy Roach. That allowed him to sub 2 players in, get his guys settled back down for the close here in the first half. That's outstanding coaching by Scott Drew.
And they've struggled offensively, just one of their last 9 from the field.
You might need that timeout later in this game. And so you either waste it when you know a TV stoppage is coming, or you play. And, you know, again, we talked about advantage, disadvantage, right? Texas Tech continues to set so many great on-ball screens that they're getting the matchup advantage that they want, and immediately they get the ball to it, which is why they just drew that foul there.
6th team foul on Baylor. The next one puts Texas Tech into the bonus. As Darian Williams goes inside and with his strength is able to get to the middle and flip it up and in.
It's been outstanding.
14 for Darian Williams.
5 of 7, 4 of 4 from beyond the arc. A couple of offensive rebounds for a player that we didn't know how much he was going to be out on the floor tonight.
Largest lead for the Red Raiders. 3-pointer, a good look by Roach, but cleaned up by Norchad Omier. His first point since early in the game.
But he just carves out space. 6 rebounds, 12 points for him. He could have a double-double easily here at the break.
Darian Williams looking to back his way in.
Now in this mismatch, you're going to have to help, which means you're probably leaving a shooter.
In the hands of Norchad Omier and the tie-up, and it's a Red Raiders ball with 13 to shoot.
Those aren't hands. Those are vice grips. I mean, it's how he gets offensive rebounds. Watch the timing. The timing to go in. He backs away, and then when you expose the ball, and the ball, as you step through a screen, if you leave the ball away from your body, someone's going to come in and grab it. And Norchad Omier saw it and went after it right away.
Elijah Hawkins, 5 on the timer. The lob for JT Toppin, who lays it in.
The versatility in the different ways that Texas Tech can score the basketball, it just wears on you. All right, you start closing out. You're so aware of shooters on the outside. You overextend your defense. It creates that seam in the middle of the paint. Watch as Toppin slips that screen. 2 goes to the ball. You can't help in the middle portion of the floor. Bob Knight used to always say that when he was coaching at IU. I was talking about Bob Knight in the center of the floor. When you operate in the middle third, it is really hard to have help side. When you set screens on the side, right? you have extra help side rotation because everybody on the weak side is now pinched over, it really becomes advantage defense. Right? It's 6-on-5 defense, basically, right?
Plus, you got the sidelines as an extra defender.
Right. Now you go in the middle portion of the floor, and it's 6-on-5 offense because you have no help side. So when you have that on-ball screen, you're forcing those two defensive players to make that read and creating space to attack the hoop. Texas Tech does that as well as anybody in the country.
BJ Edgecombe turns the corner, fouled, and will get to the line.
When he turns the corner, tell me there's a player in the country that starts that attack and you just get that look in your eyes and his shoulders drop. You know exactly where he's going. BJ Edgecombe is explosive.
First on JT Toppin. With his strength and quickness and his ability, he's as good as there is at that. And that's why he's probably going in the top 5 of the NBA draft. We got you covered on Selection Sunday. There's a schedule on ESPN and ESPN2. 7 p.m. Eastern, Bracketology presented by Lowe's. Then at 8 on ESPN, the Women's Selection Special, followed on ESPN2 at 9 by Women's Bracketology. And at 10, Men's Tournament Bracketology as Norchad Omier with the lay-in. He has 16 for Baylor.
Where would they be without Norchad Omier? I mean, just outstanding effort out of him all game long.
All season long as he blocks the shot of Kevin Overton.
Norchad Omier has 8 consecutive double-doubles.
And Norchad Omier is clutching his right knee, is now being helped up by his teammates. And stretching it out, he had a grimace on his face.
We saw him react from the help side position to get the jump ball. That time he gets off his guy and immediately comes up with his great length and timing to block the shot. When he gets to the free throw line, he's still shaking up a little bit though. He's stretching out that knee. And for Baylor fans, they cannot afford. He gave a thumbs up to Scott Drew, but you can't afford to have anybody else go down. You don't have anybody else.
Norchad Omier missing the front end of the 1-and-1. But they're already without Langston Love tonight. They've been missing for about a month. As a 3 by JT Toppin, a 2. His foot was on the line. The deep 2, they're going to review it at halftime to see if it should be a 3. But no Langston Love. Josh Ojonwuna's been out for about a month. Those are 2 key players for Scott Drew.
Most points for Texas Tech in a half this season is 52. They're at 51 right now. Great look, foot on the line. That will remain a 2, which means they're at 51. But still, look at the fluidity of the offense, right? Like, I mean, it's simple. Throw ahead by Hawkins to Christian Anderson. He gives it up unselfishly. When you play unselfish basketball, great things happen. And all of those great things have happened here tonight for Texas Tech. This has been a clinic and a message sent. If you're watching this team for the very first time, and we talk so much about Auburn, we talk about Duke, we talk about Houston, we talk about Florida, Alabama. We hardly talk about the team from Lubbock, Texas, and that's fine by Grant McCaslin. But as your brackets get filled out on Sunday, understand this. This team is legit. Their efficiency numbers show that they have the makeup of a national champion.
Long rebound, the kick out from Christian Anderson. Pass deflected, loose ball, tracked down by Baylor. Here goes VJ Edgecombe, but then he lost the handle, and it goes out of bounds to the Red Raiders.
He tried to take off. Like he was thinking about the dunk before the gather, and that's the first turnover of the game by the Baylor Bears.
Could have been highlight reel.
I was getting excited.
Yes. Anytime he's in the open floor. And the dunk he had Saturday night against Houston at Foster Pavilion there in Waco.
I almost left you at the broadcast table.
Wouldn't have been the first time you've thought about it.
Well, usually it's for other reasons, Roxy, but we'll talk about that in 14 seconds.
Elijah Hawkins. 5 left in the half, and a foul, and that puts Texas Tech on the line. The 17th foul on Baylor.
Clearly not what they were wanting to do. The zone defense that they had on that was perfect. They had them playing flat, playing side to side, not allowing them to attack downhill. J.T. Toppin's on the bench, so you don't have to worry about him. And instead, you sent Hawkins to the free throw line. Now, Hawkins, you mentioned it, the leader in the Big 12 with assists. He's got 9 here in the first half. He averaged 7.5 a year ago in the Big 10 for Minnesota.
He set the Minnesota single-season assist record last year. And he's got a 1-and-1 and 88% foul shooter. And there's some moisture on the basketball, and he wants it wiped off before he attempts the free throw.
It's tough when you look at every single play. This is the most amazing stat to me. All but 2 players that have played for Texas Tech are shooting well above 50% from the floor. And they've all gotten involved. Everybody has gotten their opportunity to shine here in the first 20 minutes. And we talk so frequently about the team that played the night before usually has a little bit better momentum early. That has not been the case. Texas Tech established who they are and how they wanted to play almost immediately in this game.
And the crazy thing is, with how well Texas Tech has shot it, their best shooter probably on the roster has not contributed. 1 for 2 for Hawkins. Baylor the rebound. One last chance. Jaden Nunn steps into a 3. Rattles out. 52-39. Texas Tech, the highest scoring first half of the season for the Red Raiders.
That was a clinic. Grant McCasland's team just had a clinic, 52 points in the first half. That's only one off of what Iowa State did earlier today in their first 20 minutes against BYU.
Let's send it over to Chris Budd.
Grant, 12 threes. What's allowed for you guys to get such good looks from outside?
Well, we shared the ball. I don't know what it ended up being, but we had 11 assists to start the half. So as long as we share the ball, then we put ourselves in good position.
How do you sustain that level for another 20 minutes?
I'm sorry?
How do you sustain that on the offensive end for another 20 minutes?
Really, I don't care about that as much as I care about can we get Norchad to miss and then box him out. Because if we get stops, then I feel like we can score in transition and it helps our offense. So the more stops we can get, and as long as we can limit their three-point attempts, I think it gives us the best chance.
Thank you, Coach.
Right.
All right, Chris, 12 first half threes for Texas Tech and a 13-point lead at the break over Baylor. As we go over to the studio, Kevin Connors, King McClure on our halftime set. It is ESPN Champ Week presented by Principal. And the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship quarterfinal action in Kansas City. Getting ready to start the second half. The 2-seed Texas Tech up 52-39 on the 7-seed Baylor Bears. Along with Sean Farnham and Chris Button, Roxy Burnson with you. That was a fun, well-played first half.
It was actually amazing to watch the way that Texas Tech executed. 68% of their made field goals came off of assists. They shared and they moved the ball.
They certainly did. As we look now for our experts at work tonight, brought to you by Principal.
Well, experts at work, we mentioned this off the top. Norchad O'Meara, Baylor thought they would get him isolated in one-on-one coverage. They went to him early and often. The most impressive thing maybe is the fact that 4 of his 7 rebounds came at the offensive end. Speaking about offensive end, how about Texas Tech? Plus 30 points from the three-point line in the first 20 minutes. They made 12 threes. The program record is 16. They've done that 6 times in school history. And as I mentioned, 13 assists on 19 made field goals. They shared the ball. Elijah Hawkins was sensational. And look at this shot chart. Not a lot of red, an awful lot of green from beyond the arc, and that comes with great ball movement.
Let's send it over to Chris.
That was basically Scott Drew's first words coming out of the locker room, and I spoke to him. We got to be able to guard the 3-ball better. He said, give them credit. They've made some fantastic shots. He said, I don't think we've gone 12 for 19 in a shoot-around. I asked if he was concerned about VJ Edcomb's fouls. He said, we played 6 to 7 guys all year. I can't be concerned with fouls. But he's done a great job passing the ball. Look for him to get involved more at the rim.
They need him to. Somebody besides Norchad O'Meara has got to score the ball.
Robert Wright has his shot blocked by J.T. Toppin, the Big 12 Player of the Year. Corner three, Christian Anderson had a good look. And the rebound, Jaden Nunn, and he is dumped, and a foul on the Red Raiders.
Take a look at these stats in the first half, and the points in the paint, very lopsided for Baylor. And it's just the difference in approach and the difference in the way these two teams were able to have success.
Third foul on Kerwin Walton. And interesting that Christian Anderson is starting the second half for Texas Tech and not Chance McMillan. Norchad O'Meara, couple of pump fakes, rattles out, got his own miss, switches sides of the hoop and draws the foul.
5 offensive rebounds now for Norchad O'Meara. He's just, you know, what he does so well, because it's not like he's playing with this elite level athleticism above the rim all the time. Like, he can dunk the ball. I'm not saying he can't get above the rim, but he uses those shoulders. And if we take a look at just how muscular he is in his upper body, and he takes his upper body and leans in to the defensive player and wedges them out so that he can create space to go get the offensive rebound. I mean, look at this. When you've got a double-double list that you are ahead of Tim Duncan, and no disrespect to Armando Bacot, but any list you pass Tim Duncan on, you've done something really well in your career. And he's well on his way to getting another double-double tonight. He's got 19 points, or 20 points and 8 rebounds now for Norchad O'Meara.
He has 20 of Baylor's 41. Shot clock inside 10 for the Red Raiders, who are 12 for 20 from 3. Deep three, 13 of 21. Elijah Hawkins with his third three.
Toppin creates that as he drives the gap and forces 2 to come to the ball. It's simple basketball. Whenever you have 2, that means somebody's wide open.
And now Hawkins a steal for the Red Raiders. But he throws it right to Robert Wright as Baylor counters. And it's deflected out, will stay at this end with Baylor. But the 13 made threes for Texas Tech, the most they have made in a Big 12 tournament game.
We got a little ways to go here. I'm going to assume that they're going to at least make 1 more. I mean, they just keep adding to it. The school record is very much so in danger this evening.
BJ Edgecombe gets loose. And the rebound tipped out, and Baylor controls. Jalen Celestine, a nice move on the baseline. First points for the grad transfer from Cal.
A rare attack from the 3-point line. They got all the way to the rim. Texas Tech does a really good job defensively, getting that pack line, staying inside the 3-point line, getting in the gaps, taking away your driving lanes.
Shot clock down to 7.
No movement. Hawkins is asking guys to move, and nobody's cutting and moving without the ball.
Kerwin Walton fires from the corner.
Well, I'd start listening to Hawkins because he was yelling for Walton to do that for about 5 seconds. And it's a double-double now for Hawkins. He's got 10 points to go along with 10 assists.
And that's the 4th three for Kerwin Walton tonight.
And everybody's standing there waiting for Walton to move out of the corner. They're like looking like, dude,
you mean that wasn't the play? Stand around, wait till the shot clock's about to expire, and throw up a 3 and have it go. And 1, Norchad O'Meara for Baylor.
That's the play every time for Baylor. I mean, Norchad O'Meara could end this game with 40 points. And Baylor's just got to continue to try to force the game through him, because Texas Tech has had no answer. And unless Texas Tech is going to start to change their coverage, and what do you have to do to change your coverage? Well, you've got to have 2 guys in front of him. You can't be on the side. Like that time Hawkins was on the side, that allowed that lane and that gap for him to attack and get downhill.
23 for Norchad O'Meara, 1 off a season high. He had 24 early in the season against St. John's.
Staying in the zone defense.
Flipping inside, and O'Meara fouls Kevin Overton.
What happened was Walton cut from the weak side to the strong side corner, and that forced the defense just to cheat that half step over, and that half step got the ball down low quickly and allowed Overton to get to the free throw line.
2 shots for Overton, the sophomore from Oklahoma City. Transfer from Drake, averaging 8 points per game off the bench for Grant McCaslin. That was Darian Williams getting worked on at the end of the bench you just saw there for Texas Tech. And Chris told you at the top of the broadcast that was a concern coming in for the Red Raiders.
I'm interested to see if he comes back in this game. He had a sensational first half.
And we have not seen Chance McMillan here in the second half. DJ Edgecombe skips to the bucket and it rattles in.
This is an interesting lineup. Now, Texas Tech, as I mentioned in the first half, the guys have their roles, right? Like, and they star in their individual roles. But the roles have changed a little bit. You've got JT Toppin on the bench, Williams on the bench, McMillan on the bench. And this is where you start to look at Christian Anderson as the potential guy that can take over this game.
Norchad O'Meara, rebound number 9.
But this is also, if you're Baylor, you're like, this is the moment where we've got to make a run. We've got a couple stops in a row.
DJ Edgecombe rims out a 3. Rebound Elijah Hawkins. Here come the Red Raiders pushing. Kerwin Walton transition 3. And the rebound grab, Jaden Nunn for Baylor.
They're comfortable with that shot at Texas Tech. Grant McCaslin is okay running the wing and throwing it ahead.
And a foul is weaving his way in with Jaden Nunn. He'll get to the line. Texas Tech in the quarters, up 60-48 early in the second half on Baylor. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement benefits plan that works for your team. Well, Bill Self hoping it'll work for his team later tonight. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, the Kansas Jayhawks making their trek over from their hotel. T-Mobile Center to take on the 3rd seed Arizona Wildcats, the last quarterfinal on this Thursday in Kansas City as we get it over to Chris.
A couple injury updates for Texas Tech. You see Chance McMillan there wearing the long sleeve shirt. He is listed as out for the remainder of this game, dealing with an upper body strain. Darian Williams has been dealing with a right calf injury, was having that worked on, was in an immense amount of pain, was biting the top of his jersey in extreme discomfort.
Well, that would definitely change a lot of what we talked about in the first half. Just not having 2 of your starters available. We talked about your roles. Roles can change at any moment. So now if you're Christian Anderson and you know that Chance McMillan is out and it's your time, you've got to make sure that you step up even more so than he normally has. And he's had some great games down the stretch of the regular season. He had 21 against West Virginia. He's averaged almost 16 points per game for the last 5. Number 4 in white is the guy that has to step up and fill that scoring punch that Chance McMillan has usually brought throughout the course of the year.
So with what Texas Tech is dealing with right now, you see this as an opportunity for Baylor?
Yeah, the door's opened up here for Baylor. It's a 10-point game. And to add those 2 names, plus the fact that JT Toppin's on the bench, Grant McCaslin usually likes to get him out early in the second half, but he's got to get him back in this game soon.
Shot clock rolling down. Tough, deep 3, short from Elijah Hawkins. And the rebound, Jaden Nunn, Baylor running. BJ Edgecombe down the lane, gets to the bucket, and it's an 8-point game.
Norchad O'Meara with the assist. And you will say, Sean, how does he get an assist on that play? Because he did a great job pinning and sealing the interior of the defense and allowed BJ Edgecombe to come right off of him. It looks like Williams was making his way back up the bench.
Edgecombe the rebound, but he traveled, and it goes right back to Texas Tech.
Roxy, this was on, watch this end to end. First of all, BJ Edgecombe so explosive, but the pin and seal right there. Norchad O'Meara just gets in the way. That's an assist. and he knocks out 2 guys and allows VJ Edgecombe to have that clean look. Norchad Omier does so many positive winning plays during the course of the game. Williams back on the floor is a great sign for Texas Tech.
Bears have scored 6 straight. They've made 4 of their last 5 shots and trimmed what was a 15-point deficit to 8. Loose ball picked up. Christian Anderson launches. And the rebound, there's Jalen Celestine for Baylor. Red Raiders just 2 for their last 11 from the floor. Getting inside. And the fadeaway short from Jeremy Roach. And bursting up the floor, Elijah Hawkins. VJ Edgecombe challenges the play. It stays with the Red Raiders. Take a look at the T. Rowe Price ACC men's basketball tournament and the injury problems which have been talked about with Duke today. They get a win. They'll play Carolina tomorrow in the semis. Stanford right now is stunning Louisville.
Well, that would be a massive upset inside the ACC tournament. I think the key, though, is North Carolina. Assuming that you're not going to see JT Toppin welcome back to the ballgame. But assuming that you're not going to see Cooper Flagg, which they said it was a long shot he plays in the semifinals, I think it should be no shot. If Carolina wins that game, that solidifies them almost 100% that they're going to be in the field.
Back to a double-digit lead for Texas Tech. Norchad Omier, the step through and the power move by Norchad Omier. A season-high 25.
I think the 2 best bigs in the country at ducking in the center of the paint and just absolutely burying you is Norchad Omier and Graham Ike from Gonzaga. They work in transition and run right into that little arc in the center of the floor and just plant their 2 feet and say, give me the ball.
JT Toppin, and it's poked away by Norchad Omier. VJ Edgecombe in transition, lays it in.
Grant McCaslin needs a timeout. Baylor has all of a sudden picked up their intensity at the defensive end of the floor, got some stops, and they're working it down at the other end of the floor. Game, Baylor has identified the matchup that they feel most comfortable and confident that they can score, and it's Norchad Omier. As you watch the way he pins and seals, once he catches the ball and you get that deep, he is as good as anybody in the country with a little shot fake and step through. He's done it his entire career, and he puts you on the island of Omier, and that's not an island as a defensive player you ever want to be on, because he can just overpower you. He's 10 of 14. He's got 25 points and 9 rebounds.
It does sound like a lovely vacation spot, though. The island of Omier.
You want to? Okay, I'll ask JT Toppin after the game if he liked being on the island.
You saw the graphic there. The contributions of Norchad Omier is Kerwin Walton missing the 3. There's Omier the rebound.
That's a double-double now.
But
that's his 10th rebound of the game.
The 2-man game of Edgecombe and Omier have been getting it done. 36 of the 56 for Baylor. Robert Wright, the third of the bucket.
That's
but it's an offensive foul on Norchad Omier for the clear out.
Remember the play where he ran down the lane and kind of muscled his way through? Watch this late. The extension of that left arm that hits Christian Anderson. There you go. That's the foul right there. That's like WWE clothesline type thing, you know, throw you off the ropes.
You're looking for the people's elbow right there?
No people's elbow, because that's going to be an ejection probably if that happened. Remind me, Stephanie's Places airs on ESPN Plus, brand new show in the life and times of WWE superstars.
Shot clock at 10. 7-point game, the closest Baylor has been since it was 25-18. But now it's a 9-point game as JT Toppin, the Big 12 Player of the Year, as 19.
Give me a guard like Elijah Hawkins, though. Just a guy that can drive the lane. He could have easily taken that shot. Instead, he really does enjoy the pass, Roxy.
He has 11 assists with his 10 points. And as a team, Texas Tech 16 assists.
Just when it looked like Baylor was going to come back into this game, Toppin checks back in, and the Red Raiders go, let's give it to the Conference Player of the Year and let him cook. He's got 19.
you have a game, Sean will be there. You look at the SEC men's tournament, and how about the win for Texas in double overtime, outlasting A&M?
Yeah, it's huge. They probably still have work to do. They probably have to beat Tennessee to get into the tournament because of how things ended down the stretch of the regular season. But a huge bubble win for Texas. A&M looked to figure in that 2-line, 3-line of the NCAA tournament.
Robert Wright, the third, falling away in the rebound grab. Kevin Overton for Texas. By the way, Kerwin Walton on the bench just picked up his 4th foul for the Red Raiders.
Zone has been effective of standing away from the hoop, getting to push the offense off the 3-point line. If you look at where they're catching the ball, it's beyond NBA 3.
JT Toppin steps out for a 3, and racing up the floor is Robert Wright, but a hold is called on Baylor, and it's on Jeremy Roach, and Scott Drew's in disbelief.
Here's one of the things against the zone that Texas Tech is not doing a great job of right now. As you take a look at the foul, it's clearly on. But Roxy, they're standing on the perimeter, just passing the ball around like it's a windshield wiper on a car on a rainy day. Somebody's got to attack, as we've seen them do throughout the course of the game. Hawkins has been great at it, but when you draw 2 to the ball or you collapse the defense, that's where you're going to find open threes or things at the cup like they've been able to exploit with JT Toppin. Too much on the outside. Somebody's got to punch the gap of the zone defense.
Shot clock winding down. Darian Williams has to launch. Norchad Omier,
that's
rebound number 11.
It's a bad possession.
Two-man game. And it's tipped out of bounds by Texas Tech as Edgecombe trying to find Norchad Omier.
Baylor's starting to operate and say, okay, these two guys are playing well. Let's have them operate with one another. You just saw it there with VJ Edgecombe and Norchad Omier working the 2-man game. I'd go right back to it.
Scott Drew also needs to find a third scorer. That the 2 guys just can't carry them alone, especially the way Texas Tech has shot the ball from deep.
Back on the island of Omier.
Norchad Omier gets that one to crawl in.
His career high is 35. He's getting closer and closer to it. He's got 27 with 10 left to go in the game. And there's been no answer. Baylor, rinse and repeat.
JT Toppin. And the reach in, foul number 3 on Norchad Omier.
And he gets the foul at the defensive end. He didn't like that call at all, but the offensive end, he loves the call when it creates space. A little step through, sees where he wants to get to, and his versatility of being able to turn over either shoulder and the development of his game to have that confidence.
And he was walking a very fine line there, almost got a technical after the foul with his reaction to the foul call. Darian Williams missing the 3. JT Toppin pulls it down. It goes to work and 1. 4th foul on Norchad Omier.
Now that is a huge, huge play. 2 fouls on Norchad Omier on that side of the floor. This second one is a frustration one. He didn't like the first call, as you pointed out, Roxy. So on the step through here, I mean, you're in no glory, and it's just a 2-hand shove. And this is going to be a dunk, and instead you put your hands on your hip, you know, and got that trophy earlier today from the commish. And one of the things that Grant McCaslin told us about JT Toppin, he found out he got the Player of the Year award on Monday. That afternoon, he was in the gym by himself doing his normal individual workout. Grant McCaslin said he's got no ego. He just wants to work and get better. And his game continues to improve and flourish here at Texas Tech. The transfer from New Mexico is long, he's lanky, and man, he is successful.
This is a critical stretch for Baylor. Norchad Omier has just gone to the bench with 4 fouls. And Robert Wright getting a breather. Where's the offense going to come from for the Baylor Bears besides Edgecombe?
Well, it'll have to be Nunn, who had the big game last night.
Here he is. Jalen Celestine in and out on the 3, and Darian Williams the rebound for Texas Tech. should point out that all 4 of Norchad Omir's fouls have come here in the second half.
Elijah Hawkins just gave that ball up, a rare turnover.
DJ Edgecombe missing from the corner, tipped out. Here comes Kevin Overton for the Red Raiders. And he's bumped in the open floor, the 3rd on Jeremy Roach.
Well, Norchad Omir being on the bench in foul trouble took away almost half of the offense. Not quite. It's about 44% of the scoring today has come from Norchad Omir. And he's going to be sitting down for a while with 4 fouls. And Scott Drew's now got to look at his team and say, now we've got to attack completely different. Your entire offense all night long has been through the block. Now you've got to do it through your perimeter players. How do you free them up against the pack line defense? We'll discuss that as we roll on.
Real dangerous spot for Baylor here. Down 10, 8:45 to go. Norchad Omir just picked up his 4th foul. So if you're Scott Drew, Sean, what are you looking for here over this next stretch?
Well, how you attack this pack line defense. I don't think you want to bring on-ball screens because that's going to bring 2 to the ball, and Grant McCaslin's team likes to suffocate you and stay in those gaps. You've got to operate with screens off the ball and diagonal passes up over the top. If you're able to do that, now it's going to force some longer runouts. That's how you're going to punch drive off the 3-point line and get a piece of the paint and score at the rim. You're not going to get that on strong side with the way their defense is collapsed and helps and is in gaps.
Elijah Hawkins missing a deep 3, but to the offensive glass, Kevin Overton missing a putback, and it's ripped away by VJ Edgecombe from JT Toppin. Jaden Nunn, 3.
Well, that's the guy that can get going from the outside. We saw it last night. 18 points off the bench. Tonight he got the start with Langston Love being out. 1-3-1 defense. Someone's got a flash to that high post. Toppin's buried right now.
Step back. And the miss from Darian Williams.
I like to throw the Williams in the corner, but I'd flash Toppin up into the high post and then play out of that.
Down the lane to the bucket and denied by JT Toppin as Jaden Nunn was trying to get to the bucket. And now Jeremy Roach strips the ball, but a foul on Baylor.
Again, they changing the offense, no longer playing from the post up. You need guards that can make shots. You need to space the floor. Edgecombe attacks, kicks out to Nunn. And he's going to go ahead and get some right there. They need to get that defense loosened up. Only the 3rd 3-pointer for Baylor tonight. And the Gonzaga Bulldogs emphatically punching their ticket.
Oregon State doing exactly what it needed to do.
And the St. Francis Red Flash are dancing. It's what March is all about. Green Bay back to the big dance.
7-point lead for Texas Tech, and the latest from Joe Lunardi in his bracketology for the Big 12. Texas Tech on the 2 line. Arizona's playing Kansas to wrap up the quarterfinals later tonight. The Cats are a 5, Kansas a 6, and BYU with their win and their tournament record 18 threes against Iowa State earlier today. They're a 6 seed right now.
And with the opportunity maybe to move up if they're able to knock off Houston tomorrow. I think Houston's locked in. I think Texas Tech is locked in regardless of what happens here. Even if Texas Tech was to win this tournament, they're not moving to the 1 line ahead of those other teams that have pretty much locked themselves in.
Texas Tech has led the entire way. JT Toppin at the high post. Up and under with the right hand, 24 for Toppin.
How good is his base? Like, he is so strong, so compact. Very rarely gets knocked off his line.
Norchad Omir sitting with his 4 fouls. And the fall away, Jaden Nunn starting to get involved.
Well, he's had to. I mean, you mentioned it, who was going to be the guy. Nunn is the guy outside of VJ Edgecombe that can score out on the floor.
Kerwin Walton playing for Texas Tech with 4 fouls. We haven't seen Chance McMillan in the second half of the Red Raiders. Darian Williams battling through an injury is Toppin with the miss, and the rebound grabbed by Marino to Bravacik. Pull-up jumper, Jeremy Roach, and Baylor has trimmed it to 5. They're within 5 for the first time since there was 12:15 left in the first half.
Roxy getting slaughtered from the three-point line. How do you do it? You make 16 out of 18 at the free throw line, and then you're plus 20 in the paint. All those things added up allows you to negate some of the three-point shooting.
Open 3 miss, the back tap by Walton. The Red Raiders keep it alive. JT Toppin on the baseline, and he's forced underneath and a push on Baylor.
Well, let's go back a couple possessions ago. Look at how strong Toppin is underneath. Little step through move. The defense just gets caught standing, and then the almost screen. Little drop coverage there from JT Toppin, hoping that Elijah Hawkins is going to get there in time. I think he's got to stay another beat and allow Hawkins to recover fully. Otherwise, it was that clean open look inside the paint for Jeremy Roach.
4th foul on Roach. In the bonus now, the Red Raiders. And JT Toppin nails the front end.
And Norchad Omier is back in the game for the Baylor Bears with 4 fouls. So we've talked about the island of Omier, right? You don't want to be on that if you're at the defensive end of the floor for Texas Tech. But I would, if I'm Texas Tech, look to attack him right away. If you can get him out of the game, you eliminate a lot of the reboundings, the second chance points that have been able to be manufactured with Norchad Omier.
(72-65) Red Raiders inside 5.5. DJ Edgecombe. Walton guarding him with 4 fouls, and Kerwin Walton may have just fouled out.
He did. And no need to foul there. I mean, Edgecombe wasn't driving to score. You know, there's sometimes where he looks and he turns that corner and you're like, man, he's going to attack. This was just a slow drive and actually was being funneled to the end line, which acts as an additional defensive player. Just show your hands to the official and let him drive into that double team, because that's where he was headed.
Night of Kerwin Walton has come to an end here with 5:16 to go. Team foul number 6, so the next one will put Baylor into the bonus. Jeremy Roach lost his footing, and in disbelief, Elijah Hawkins whistled for his 4th personal foul.
That's a tough one to swallow, because he's tripping and falling to the floor. Yeah, there's contact made by the knee, but Jeremy Roach had lost his footing and was already going down. And Grant McCaslin saying, where's the foul? The foul was at the knee.
1-and-1, Roach 4 for 4 from the line. There's the miss, and the rebound, Darian Williams for Texas Tech. Foul trouble on both sides. Jeremy Roach, Norchad Omier each have 4 for Baylor. Kerwin Walton is fouled out for Texas Tech, and Elijah Hawkins playing with 4. Christian Anderson, too strong, and the rebound grabbed by Norchad Omier for Baylor.
I try to get Norchad Omier the ball here.
DJ Edgecombe challenged, missed the shot. And the rebound hustling is Darian Williams, but he saves it right to Jalen Celestine for Baylor.
You want to get Norchad re-engaged offensively.
Here he is. And he powers his way through and spins out, and the rebound, J.T. Toppin, his 9th rebound for the Red Raiders.
You have 2 players out on the floor with 4 fouls. Like, Williams needs to understand that, just rip and go at Jeremy Roach. Why would you give that up there? You have a mismatch of Roach on Williams.
J.T. Toppin rattles out the rebound. B.J. Edgecombe for Baylor. They nearly turned it over in the backcourt. Texas Tech leaving the door open for Baylor as B.J. Edgecombe lost it, and it's cleaned up by Norchad Omier.
Plenty of time for Baylor. They just got to continue to execute. The zone defense has flattened out Texas Tech at the offensive end. It's sometimes a little bit too passive here late in the game.
Timeout Texas Tech. They haven't made a 3 in about 11 minutes.
Well, it's not only that, though, Roxy. Previous possession, you got Williams being guarded by Roach. Size, strength advantages, number 5 and White. He didn't take advantage of it at all.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
The ACC semis.
Missing an 8-0 run. Barney, Roxy, back to you.
Dallin, it's a 5-point game, 3:18 to go in this quarterfinal matchup of the Big 12 Men's Championship as Texas Tech is led by as many as 15 to see Baylor come back. In the second half, just doesn't seem offensively, Sean. There's the flow that we saw early in this game from the Red Raiders.
Only 3 assists, and a lot of that has been the zone defense that Baylor has played and just how passive Texas Tech has been. They have not been aggressive with how they've tried to attack this zone. Flash, cut, move with purpose.
Let's check in with Chris.
That's exactly what Grant McCasland was preaching during that timeout, is that they want them to get to the rim. He said, you got to stay patient. Just don't get, the first line of defense and kick the ball out. Reminder of all these guys that are in foul trouble, just drive to the rim.
B.J. Edgecombe stumbles, gets tied up. Did he get a timeout first? Yes, they did. Baylor timeout, 2:48 to go, 13 on the shot clock. And a 5-point lead for the Red Raiders, the 2 seed over the 7 seed. Here in this quarterfinal matchup, still to come later tonight. We wrap up quarterfinal day at the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Championship with the 3 seed Arizona Wildcats against the Kansas Jayhawks as KU outlasted UCF, winning 98-94 in overtime last night to get to the quarterfinal. Earlier today, BYU set a Big 12 championship record with 18 threes in their win against Iowa State. And then Houston got a battle. And Tad Boyle's team, Colorado, did a tremendous job winning a couple of games, playing their way into the quarters. But Houston moves on, and J.T. Toppin also wants to get into the semifinals.
Yeah, he wants to move on in this tournament. He's played like the conference player of the year. His efficiency off the charts. 10 of 17 shooting on the game. He's got 9 rebounds to go with those 26 points. And the variety of ways that he can get you done. He can get you on the offensive rebound and get putbacks. The short roll situation, he can post up, rip through. He can pop, hit the 3-point shot. There's not much out on the floor where J.T. Toppin doesn't feel comfortable getting a shot off if you give him some space.
Here is Norchad Omier with his 4 fouls. Gathers underneath, too strong on the bank, and J.T. Toppin pulls it down. He's got a double-double.
You can screen zones, and that's when you're starting to see Williams come up, but I'd like to see J.T. Toppin come up and get engaged and then do that little short roll and try to get him the ball there.
Darian Williams spinning, gets inside, then missed underneath, and it's out of bounds. We're going the other way. It's a Baylor ball.
Now, if you're Baylor, I'd go right back to Norchad Omier, but I'd do it on the post up in the middle of the paint. Now, part of the problem is it's a little bit harder to get him in that spot when you're not in transition, where it's not a rebound flowing into that half court.
VJ Edgecombe trying to move down the lane. Robert Wright III gets his own miss. It's stripped, and it's out of bounds. It's a Baylor ball.
It's out of bounds underneath here. I think VJ Edgecombe is going to take it out. A lot of times what they do is they throw it up to the top of the key, and then they try to double pin down for Edgecombe coming back into play after he's thrown the ball in. There it is. They didn't get anything out of it. They popped Celestine.
Miss on the pull-up. Edgecombe and Overton wrestling for the ball, and the arrow belongs to Texas Tech with 1:51 remaining.
Part of the reason they didn't get anything on that out-of-bounds play was Edgecombe didn't really rip off of it with a sense of purpose and cutting with like the intent to get the ball back and score. You want to be deliberate here, but you also want to go with about 10 seconds on the clock.
Here's JT Toppin. Elijah Hawkins, 5 to shoot. Toppin inside. Toppin leans in. Gets his own miss. Loose ball picked up, and Christian Anderson plays it out for a 3 that Hawkins misses.
Not sure.
Celestine the rebound.
Not sure I would have taken that shot. The clock is your friend right there. You got the offensive rebound. You have 20 seconds to work with. Robert
Wright III, the kick. Corner 3. And the miss from Jaden Nunn. And Texas Tech with the rebound. Can you play this out, or you do need a foul?
You don't need a foul right now. You can play this out. You got to get a stop. And then I'm looking to drive right away here. If you're Baylor, you're looking to get out in the open floor and attack. You got to run off the rebound.
Christian Anderson.
Toppin was wide open. Anderson missed him. It's too late.
Here he is. Blocked by Norchad Omier. And the miss caught by Kevin Overton. And here comes Baylor. Robert Wright III lays it in. Timeout Baylor, 26.5.
That's an outstanding job by a freshman guard, understanding time and possession. You had multiple guys running on the right-hand side of the wing. You had nobody on the left-hand side. So go ahead and reverse course. Get to your left hand and be able to finish. Watch this from the rebound. Of course, Norchad Omier gets the rebound. You got 2 on his right arm. Gets to the left. There's nobody there. No sense of energy and urgency in the defensive transition to get below the level of the ball. Excellent job by the freshman, Robert Wright.
3-point game, 26.5 seconds. Baylor now out of timeouts. And if you foul, it's still a 1-and-1.
That's fine. You're going to extend out your pressure here. Can you create a turnover? You've got enough time where you can trap at least the initial pass and see if you can make something happen and then foul at that point in time.
This is the closest Baylor has been since it was 8-6. Texas Tech is led by as many as 15. And again, foul issues on both sides. Norchad Omier and Jeremy Roach playing with 4. Kerwin Walton is fouled out for Texas Tech. And Elijah Hawkins playing with 4.
Crazy after the first half. 52 points for Texas Tech. Baylor plays zone primarily the entire second half, and Texas Tech only has 20 points.
Well, they clearly had to try something different defensively, and that zone seems to have worked for the Baylor Bears.
It disrupted the ability to get wide open looks, and part of that was what we've been alluding to, just the passive approach by Texas Tech. They didn't attack gaps, they didn't look to drive and punch the ball and force multiple players to come in. One of the 3-pointers they had, JT Toppin drove and got 2 to him, and then he kicked to a wide open 3.
And Texas Tech has left the door open for Baylor. The Red Raiders have missed their last 10 shots. They're just 1 for their last 14 and have not scored in over 5 minutes. The baseball pass for Kevin Overton, and he's fouled and will get to the line. It should be a 2-shot foul as he was in the act of shooting, the 3rd on Jaden Nunn.
Great pass over the top. Patrick Mahomes, a Texas Tech grad, he would be happy. You know, Andy Reid showed up today to support BYU.
The BYU grad.
Where's Mahomes? just saying, maybe he's in a luxury box and I just haven't paid attention.
Kevin Overton's 2 for 2 from the line tonight. 88% on the year. Or rather 79%, I should say. And that makes it a 2-possession game.
Okay, so now 21 seconds on the miss. You don't need the 3. You're looking to drive. Same thing you just did on that previous possession.
But you have to go very quickly.
Correct. You have to force the issue. Worst case scenario, you want to get to the free throw line at the other end of the floor.
Overton makes both.
Now see, I'd step up here and make him pick it up. Good job by Anderson trying to come up and force them to pick up the ball earlier in the backcourt.
Robert Wright tries to turn the corner. The kick out, Jaden Nunn. 3. No timeouts for Baylor. And they get it into Elijah Hawkins, and he's fouled by Robert Wright with 11.2 remaining.
Robert Wright has really been impressive in this late game execution. Drive to the middle, looks like he's stuck and caught. Finds Jaden Nunn wide open. Clean look from the outside, drills it to make it a 2-point game. Remember, it's just a one-on-one opportunity here for Elijah Hawkins. If he misses the first, it's a 2-point game. You don't need the 3-point shot. If he makes it, still too much time for Texas Tech to immediately foul.
Hawkins 1 for 2 from the line tonight. Look at the bonus.
Again, you're not going to foul if you're Texas Tech right now with 11 seconds left to go on the clock in a 3-point game. If it got below 6, you could. But if he makes this, it's a 2-possession contest.
And it is. Robert Wright darts to the basket, lays it in. The next foul, it's a 2-shot foul, as that puts Texas Tech into the double bonus.
At the free throw line will be Christian Anderson, the freshman. He has yet to attempt a free throw tonight. On the season, he's an 81% free throw shooter. His all Big 12 freshman team had some monster performances. Chance McMillan was out earlier this year, and he got inserted in the starting lineup and just took over with his innate ability to score the basketball.
They're checking the clock to make sure there should be 4.5 seconds remaining. Third foul in VJ Edgecombe, and Christian Anderson's first trip to the line tonight. He's an 81% foul shooter on the year. Reminder still to come. Our last quarterfinal matchup between the 3-seed Arizona and the 6-seed Kansas Jayhawks.
Now, the previous possession, when there was 11 seconds on the clock, I said too early for Texas Tech to foul, right? Now with 4.5 seconds, if for any reason he makes one, misses the second, or misses the first and makes the second, either way, now I think you should foul. If you foul, here comes the big question. Can you box out Norchad Omier? I mean, that's the roll of the dice that you're playing with here. Now, statistically speaking, 4 of 16 from beyond the arc on the game, 25%. Maybe you choose not to foul because there's a higher percentage of Norchad Omier getting an offensive rebound and a putback than there is of Baylor knocking down a 3-point shot. That's how good Norchad Omier has been. 29 points, 14 rebounds for Norchad Omier.
So they put some time back on the clock. .1 on the clock for Baylor after the free throws for Anderson. Freshman from Atlanta, Christian Anderson, all freshman team in the Big 12 this year.
door's open. How open is that door? Is it going to be a 2-point game or a 3-point game? Texas Tech has not made a field goal since the 7:26 mark. That's insane.
Clinging to the lead. He missed both. North Shadow near the rebound. B.J. Edgecombe for the win.
What a game. How entertaining was that? At halftime, you and I would have never thought that Texas Tech's offense would be locked up. Scott Drew going to the zone defense. It worked. It made things tight. The offense did not flow at all in the second half for the Red Raiders. Christian Anderson misses 2. B.J. Edgecombe goes up the floor. I think he had one more dribble in him if he wanted to.
Just too strong.
Yeah.
And that's such a tough shot considering full momentum sprint off 1 foot. And he pushed it too strong. And Texas Tech hangs on for the win as the Red Raiders, who made 12 threes in the first half, but it was a different story in the second half, but they win. And we get it over to Chris standing by with JT Toppin. Before we talk to JT Toppin, because Chris will talk to him, we have to tell you that he is our player of the game, brought to you by Phillips 66, the Big 12 Player of the Year.
Yeah, Big 12 Player of the Year, as you mentioned, Roxy. 26 points, 10 rebounds, and again, made the last field goal for Texas Tech. With 7:26 left to go on the clock, was the last time they made a bucket, and it was JT Toppin who got it done. And the versatility of his game and how he can score the basketball. He can pick and pop, hurt you from the outside. He can get you with his back to the basket. He can drive off the perimeter. He can get you the offensive rebounds. JT Toppin has a complete game, and what a weapon to play through, and how much that opens up everything else offensively that Texas Tech wants to do. He was sensational tonight, especially that one-on-one matchup with North Chad O'Meara, how hard they went after each other.
We promised you JT Toppin. He's with Chris Budd.
Yeah, JT, congratulations. Story of 2 different halves. When your offense wasn't in rhythm in the second half, how were you guys able to pull this out?
We just stick together, you know, team, stick together, stay in it. We know what wins is defense, so we really just try to do our best to stop them on the defensive end for sure.
You put up 26 the day you earned your Player of the Year award today. What has it meant to have this kind of performance this year in the Big 12?
It's just amazing. I work for it, and like the grind's paying off. All the early mornings and late nights, so it's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling for real.
Congratulations. I'll see you tomorrow.
Huh?
See you tomorrow.
Oh, thank you.
He wasn't sure, Chris. We will see him tomorrow as Texas Tech is on to the semifinals. They'll get the winner of the final game of the day. Arizona and Kansas still to come from T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. But Texas Tech, win number 25. They beat Baylor. Kansas and Arizona coming up in a bit, but first we get it over to Kevin Connors on the set.